If you're struggling with low energy, low testosterone, not being able to lose fat consistently, and man boobs, you must understand there is a hidden hormone behind it. This hormone is called prolactin, and it can cause a lot of damage in your body. So in this video, I want to explain what is it, how you can manage it, blood work, and then 6 strategies in total to keep this hormone in the safe levels. And the 5th strategy will surprise you, trust me. Okay, so my name is Sebastian. I'm a certified nutrition consultant, ex-engineer. So I try to engineer nutrition and of course hormonal health and metabolic health. And the reason I switched careers is because, it's my mission. My grandpa died because of the stomach cancer. So I decided to learn by myself about gut health, about how the body works, about biology. And I started to help people. And I mostly work with professionals, and I help more than 170 professionals get their dream bodies, fix hormonal problems, and keep it for the long term. So I want to start with an example. So this is Adam, my student, and you can see he didn't have the man boobs yet, but I still think that it started. So obviously when we decided to work together, we had some amazing results. So he got rid of the belly, which is amazing, and also he increased his muscle mass. You can see the size of the arm compared to here. So again, for me, it's like every problem in the body must be, some kind of hormonal problems, some hormonal imbalances. So we must take care of that, by doing the blood work and things like that. So if you are not into this area here, 10 to 15 or maybe to 20, 20 is still a good number. So if you're not here, you are exposed to high prolactin. So I strongly recommend to perform a blood work, and don't worry, I'm going to explain everything. This is obviously the danger area, and you don't want to be here. So if you're here, your main goal should be to get here into the safe one. Regarding 8% body fat, now here it depends. I would suggest just to keep it for the short term, maybe 1 to 3 months at maximum, to enjoy the summer, to enjoy showing your physique at the beach and stuff like that. Okay, so hope this makes sense so far. So let's discuss about this hormone. This is a pituitary hormone that regulates lactation, metabolism, and reproductive function. And its short half-life means levels drop quickly if production is blocked. Think about ejaculation. You will have a spike and then it will go down. So if of course everything is going well in your body. Why do men produce prolactin? Because this is usually, let's say, a female hormone, and you can see like why. It's pro and lactin, which is coming from lactation. So of course this is something regarding latte will be in Italian, in other languages would be lapte in Romanian. So it's pro milk in a way, so of course it's coming from the breast. Okay, so what's the story with men? Why do men produce this hormone? Its roles in men include supporting testosterone and sperm production, modulating immune function, influencing brain function and stress hormone. And you can see here what is happening. The pituitary gland will secrete prolactin. If it's too elevated, it will lead to decreased sperm production. And here are the common reasons of high prolactin. First of all, chronic stress, physical or emotional, poor sleep, low dopamine or depression. Then after that, we have some medication, basically antidepressants, high estrogen. So usually high estrogen means in some cases, maybe most of the cases, high prolactin. So they are like brothers, cousins, something like that. Low thyroid function. This means hypothyroidism, low sodium intake or fasting states, frequent ejaculation or sexual activity before blood test. So for example, if you, have sex before the blood work, of course you're gonna have it elevated maybe. And overtraining will be the last one. So you can see overtraining is almost everywhere. I talk a lot about overtraining in the previous videos. and I'm gonna talk more. Trust me. I believe if you are training more than 4 times per week as a professional, you are overtraining already. So 5 to 6 times per week is not working for everyone. Maybe it used to work when you were in high school. You didn't understand life, you didn't understand stress. But right now, trust me, it's not working. And many people, try to compensate this with stimulants, with pre-workouts. So in a way, you overstimulate your body. So of course, you're not gonna fix the root problem. Okay, and as you can see here, what is happening in your body if you have, this is a medical word for high prolactin. Okay, who has at risk? But yeah, before that, I want to explain some things here. So these are the metabolic effects of prolactin. So if you know me, if you watch my content before, I focus mainly on metabolic health. And you can see here on the brain, alters appetite and the regulation of how full you are, can cause leptin resistance, making it harder to feel full, elevates stress hormones if levels are high, cortisol for example, or even serotonin, which is a stress hormone. Promotes fat storage. I know you hate that. I hate it as well. Decreases fat burning enzymes. Contributes to visceral fat accumulation. By the way, I have a video about visceral fat. I'm gonna include it in the description. That will be important. Please watch it. May regulate energy balance in obesity, and then we have other things. But if it's in the safe levels, supports beta cell growth. And this is insulin production, improves insulin sensitivity, and for the liver, protects against fatty liver, and so on. I don't want to bore you with too much information. Cool. And you can see the mechanism that is happening here. Leptin levels will tell your brain you have enough food. And it does this by turning off hunger promoting signals from two brain chemicals. These are the two brain chemicals. But the problem is that when prolactin is high, it can block the leptin signal, making your brain resistance to it. The result will be definitely your body will think that you're starving, so you will need more food. So you will extra eat food, and then of course this will lead to creating more fat cells. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna discuss about leptin in a future video because this is very interesting. It's a hormone created by adipose tissues, and yeah, pancreas will secrete insulin. Gonna talk about insulin as well. Okay, let's move to our stuff. So, who is at risk? Men with low libido, low motivation, or man boobs. Anyone with low dopamine symptoms like brain fog, poor drive, people on medications affecting dopamine or serotonin. This means antidepressants. And here are the consequences of excess prolactin. So sexual dysfunction, hormonal imbalance, especially affecting testosterone levels, which is the male hormone, energy crash, emotional toll, and physical changes. The worst thing is definitely the breast tissue growth. So yeah, those man boobs. My values are should be below 18 nanogram per milliliter. If it's higher than that, it means that we need to take action. So please perform a blood work next time, include the prolactin and check these levels. And when you do it early in the morning and test on a day with no recent ejaculation and low stress, I would say don't ejaculate 2 or 3 days before so you can see the levels clearly. Let's jump into the strategy. So the first one is increasing dopamine. So you need to increase dopamine. And this is an interesting graph or illustration, whatever you call it. So you can see here, this hormone, it will spike when you get some kind of reward. Could be you win something, or could be, I don't know, in the worst case scenario, of course, would be drugs. So yeah, you win something. Let's say you have a business win, and on the other side, the worst side will be taking drugs. So let's say, let's start with this, with the low dopamine. So let's say you are a low dopamine individual. You are a low dopamine individual, and you take drugs, and then you will have a spike until here, and then you'll go down again, and then you will need to take the same amount of drugs to feel high dopamine. So it will be something like this, and you can see from here to here, and if you do it again and again, this will create an addiction. So you want all the time to have to feel high dopamine. So this is basically the addiction. I'm gonna mention it, addiction. Okay, but what if you are a high dopamine individual? Yeah, let's say you, I don't know, you have something, some kind of, let's say drugs, the worst case. You can see you don't need a lot of stimulation to feel high dopamine because you are already high dopamine. So even if you have it again, you're not gonna, build an addiction. This is why even successful people, they have addictions. Like Michael Jordan, he had a gambling addiction. He's still able to manage it. But if you are a low dopamine, it can basically destroy you because you want it more and more and more. And this can basically destroy your life because you stop thinking logically. So it's very important to feel high dopamine. Many people, they have addictions and they can manage this accordingly. Okay, so what are the actionable steps here? I would recommend to consume eggs almost daily, even daily, for choline benefits, because this will boost cognitive function, and this increases dopamine receptor densities. Then we have the second thing, to lower adrenaline. This is made from dopamine, so an adrenaline excess will lead to dopamine deficiency. To solve this, I have two strategies. Consume salt. This will lower adrenaline. Adrenaline when you have some kind of danger in your life. For example, a dog is running behind you. Obviously, adrenaline will be elevated and you have unlimited energy, So you can activate this in the gym so you can have more strength, something very interesting that I do usually. So consume salt, sea salt, and then eat a well-optimized dinner. Why dinner? Why I'm talking about dinner? Because you want to reduce adrenaline at night so you can have a better sleep. If not, if adrenaline will stay elevated at night, you're gonna deal with sleep problems. You're gonna wake up in the middle of the night. So basically you cannot reduce adrenaline because you have a poor sleep quality. Hope this makes sense. Then the third step will be to consume creatine as a short-term boost. Yeah, the supplement is very beneficial for the dopamine receptors, and this may enhance dopamine function by supporting brain energy and neuroprotection. The next step is to do a dopamine detox every month to destimulate yourself. There was a big thing about dopamine detox. Everyone was talking about this. Still, so many people are talking, but there was a trend. So how you can do this? You avoid stimulation for 1 to 2 weeks, not 1 to 2 days. That's not working. You need at least 2 weeks. So yeah, if you have some kind of addiction, try to give up that addiction for 2 weeks. That would be important. Practice fasting. Why fasting? Because so many people developed food addiction, and the food can be so addictive these days because of the chemicals introduced, especially with ultra-processed foods. And this is important for GABA regulation. I'm going to talk about GABA as well. This is basically turning your brain off, so making you feel relaxed. As for the supplements, so we mentioned creatine, but also I have 3 more supplements here. Magnesium, it supports nerve function and energy production. Taurine is a good one, can increase dopamine, and biloba extract is also a good one, it's a herb. Let's move to the next strategy. Consume key nutrients. So these are zinc. This will boost dopamine production, which suppresses prolactin, supports testosterone, which is often low when prolactin is high. Also, another thing here to mention, when you ejaculate, you eliminate zinc. So if you ejaculate too much, and then you don't have an optimized diet high in zinc, you can deal with zinc deficiency. This will lead to high prolactin. You can see the correlation now. So these are the best sources: oysters, beef, lamb, and eggs. Vitamin D enhances dopamine receptor sensitivity, linked to lower prolactin in people with deficiency. And the sources are, of course, sunlight. Please get 10 to 20 minutes, no sunscreen. That will block the vitamin D. Fatty fish, if it's winter time, I recommend salmon, wild caught, sardines, cod liver oil is a good one, and egg yolks. Then we have sodium. This maintains electrolyte balance and blood pressure. A low sodium diet can increase stress hormones and prolactin. And sources are sea salt, pickles, olives, and of course moderate salt is pro-metabolic, so don't overdo it with salt. The thing with salt, I cannot give you a specific advice because I don't know your situation, but let's say that you are healthy, you're doing fine. I recommend maybe 5 to 10 grams daily. That is a good number. Number 4 is vitamin E. It protects neurons from oxidative stress, helps preserve dopamine, which suppresses prolactin, and the sources are here: olive oil, olives. So yeah, Italians got it right. Italians and Greek people from Greece. And then we have saturated fats. They support cholesterol-based hormone production. These are testosterone, progesterone, and dopamine. They protect dopamine function, keeping prolactin in check. And the sources are egg yolks, butter, ghee, coconut oil, grass-fed beef, lamb, and dairy. Let's move to the next point. Minimize estrogen and exposure to estrogenic substances. You can see here the study. So yeah, I'm going to include all the studies in the description if you want to take a closer look at all of them. Why it matters? So high estrogen increases prolactin by stimulating the pituitary gland. So as I told you, these are like brothers, these are like sisters, cousins, whatever you want to call them. Estrogen dominance can disrupt the dopamine prolactin balance, lowering testosterone and promoting issues like gyno and fat gain. Many xenoestrogens mimic estrogen and silently raise prolactin over time. So these are the common ones. So plastics, soy and processed plant estrogens, like soy protein isolate, personal care products like shampoos, lotions, soaps with parabens, and so on. I also recommend to go for natural organic alternatives. This is important. These are some small things, but they will add up if you don't, are aware of them. Conventional meat and dairy can contain hormonal residues. I actually have a friend who is transporting the meat from, not from the farms, from the factory to the supermarket, and he told me never consume that kind of meat. So yeah, definitely if you can, and I strongly recommend, try to find a farm. That is important. Tap water, this is contaminated. So it's either you get a filter for your shower, a shower filter. Distiller will be a good alternative. So how you can naturally lower estrogen? So first of all, obviously reduce the compounds that elevate estrogen. So analyze your situation clearly. I have a video about estrogen, about these compounds. I'm going to include it in the description. Use natural alternatives, like for example for soaps, olive oil, natural deodorants without aluminum, linen clothing, because this has a high frequency, which is going to make you feel more relaxed. Sweat in the sauna 1 to 2 times weekly. Incorporate aromatase inhibitors like citrus fruits, chamomile, olive oil. Consume vitamin A and beta carotene. So every time you consume vitamin A coming from organs, I recommend you consume something orange as well, and vice versa. Get a binder. I recommend activated charcoal. Consume boron from raisins and avocado. Yeah, boron will extend the life of vitamin D as well. So getting in the summertime will be amazing. Support your liver with the right nutrients. And you can see here the liver will need specific nutrients to do the detoxification properly. B vitamins, glutathione, and you can see vitamin C and so on. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely make a video about the liver, how it's doing the detoxification. I have that in my program. Okay, then we have reduce stress. Obviously, stress is everywhere. Stress will deplete you of so many minerals like crazy. So the best way to manage stress is to try to compensate, try to balance with low stress activities. For example, you worked for 10 hours. Maybe try to relax for 1 hour after that, but relax, stop thinking about the job. Go in the nature, turn off your phone. Try to disconnect totally, from that. Okay. And I discussed about this in a previous video, but I'm gonna mention it here again. So you need the nutrients for stress adaptation in the first place. So B vitamins coming from animal protein, vitamin C coming from fruits and fermented vegetables, magnesium. This should be taken from the supplements if you don't live close to a beach, an ocean. Calcium from raw dairy. And also we have the strategies. So reduce blue light exposure, or for example, wear some kind of blue light blocking glasses like these ones. They are not orange, but they are doing the job. Increase oxytocin, meaning, hug a friend, make love with a lover, or have animals in your house, things like that. Don't overtrain. We discussed about that. More than 4 hour workouts per week is already overtraining. Reduce caffeine. This will elevate stress. Be surrounded by beauty. So go in the nature. Admire the architecture, things like that, and positive thinking. Then some supplements here if you want to test them. Theanine, for example, is good combined with coffee in the morning and so on. And supplements for high stress periods. Ashwagandha, but please be careful, this is a strong one. Valerian and so on. So these are some strategies. Then we have number 5, lower serotonin. So serotonin, everybody is saying that serotonin is the happy chemical. But the thing is that if it's too elevated, it's a stress hormone. And you can see here a study, effects of aromatase inhibition and androgen activity on serotonin and behavior in male animals. So as you can see here, if it's too elevated, this can lead to agitation, confusion, hallucinations even, and instability like fever and so on. So pretty dangerous stuff. So what raises serotonin? First we have seed oils, fish oils as well, high tryptophan, which is coming from let's say lean protein. So egg whites and chicken, these are lean protein. So always when you consume a lot of lean protein, you have to combine it with fatty protein in a way, to balance the amino acids. This is important. Hormonal, estrogen dominance, vitamin E and B1 deficiency. Vitamin E is coming best from olive oil. I consume daily, at least 5 to 10 grams. Sometimes I just drink it. For example, after a cheat meal, I know that the cheat meal would utilize a lot of vitamin E because this is an antioxidant. So I need to balance it in a way. Hope this makes sense. Metabolic, elevated free fatty acids from stress and low sunlight exposure. So these are the main compounds that will elevate serotonin in a bad way. You want to keep it in the safe levels, not too elevated, not too low. So what lowers serotonin? Nutrients we have in the first place, glycine coming from bone broth and collagen, thiamine coming from organs, rice, vitamin D and vitamin E, magnesium. Herbs, I didn't test these, I just find some studies regarding this, interesting ones. Lifestyle, sunlight, so don't use sunglasses, don't use even glasses when you are outside in the sun, don't use glasses like this. Tryptophan balance streak, So pair high tryptophan foods like dairy, poultry, wheat, beef, lamb, shellfish, glycine-rich soups. Okay, so that is about serotonin, and the last thing will be to keep the parathyroid hormone under control. And the root causes of this elevated hormone could be mineral imbalances, especially calcium deficiency and magnesium deficiency. And you can see here you want to have it normal, and calcium normal, this normal levels, and PTH again normal as well. Okay, I want to discuss about in every video about every hormone, so you can see like they are correlated. Vitamin D insufficiency, vitamin D is again everywhere, lack of sun exposure or poor conversion. This can happen if you have liver problems or kidneys problems. Phosphate dysregulation, so coming from high phosphate intake. So processed foods full with additives, soft drinks, cured meats and fast food, low calcium to phosphate ratio. Yeah, this will lead to this problem. So if you consume a lot of junk food, this can lead to low calcium to phosphate ratio, and this will trigger PTH release. Hidden toxins, especially fluoride, this will damage even the pineal gland, so found in tap water, toothpaste and some teas. Heavy metals, this will disrupt mineral metabolism. Then we have gut and kidneys factors. So leaky gut, poor calcium absorption will lead to that. Kidney dysfunction, reduced calcium reabsorption and vitamin D activation. So yeah, this is it. Again, this is the foundation, how you can, get rid of this problem of this hormone. If you are at, let's say 25 to 40% body fat, I think you are in danger. So make sure you apply these steps here and to take care of this hormone. Make sure you perform a blood work, and I promise you'll have you're gonna fix this problem. If you still have questions about everything that we discussed here, just shoot me a message on my Instagram. And if you want to work with me, or at least have a conversation with me, there is a link in the description. You can book a call with me, see what struggles you have, see what we can do. I'm here to help. I'm absolutely passionate about this, and I will be at your service. So see you in the next video.